Hi, Sister Unity here, Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. This, well, when you spackle it and glitter it, it's Sister Gaia. Peekaboo! I'm gonna pinch you, pinching you. Oh, pinch. Oh, oh, just don't squirt the milk on the camera. She's lactating. So she's here because she's just finished riding a bicycle 500 miles from San Francisco to Los Angeles.
Sister Fancy rode her bicycle.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Yes,
Sister.
I was a roadie. I was a support team for the riders that were doing the ride.
Sister Fancy Pants, who is right now through this wall, naked, in my shower, just rode 500 miles from San Francisco to Los Angeles. Now, the funny thing is she lives in Vancouver. You'd think she could have ridden her bicycle from Vancouver to San Francisco, but no, she had to pollute the atmosphere and take a plane. And Sister Gaia, as she said, was one of the roadies, one of the support team that helped the riders do this really rather arduous ride of 500 miles from San Francisco down through California's coastland to Los Angeles. And I met them at the finish line and welcomed them back, and now they're in my house, clogging my drain with their pubic hair. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about this. It's called the AIDS Life Cycle, or the ALC, AIDS Life Cycle. Back in the day, it was called the AIDS Ride, but there was a little bit of shenanigans going on with the organizers of the AIDS Ride, and it split off. And the AIDS Life Cycle raises funds for organizations in San Francisco and Los Angeles. Look, there is the sometime Sister Fancy Pants, only now she's the Sister Studley Nipples. Please note there was mint in that ice water. Okay, when you're a guest at my place at the Unibode, you do not get slacker service. Okay, you get the full body coconut oil massage. I'm just offering that. I know you get horny on the ride, having a bike seat shoved up your ass for 500 miles. I'm just saying. So what this whole thing is about is supporting two organizations, one in San Francisco, one in Los Angeles, that serve not only the LGBT community, but the HIV positive and AIDS community. People with AIDS receive support services from organizations from within our community because historically, when AIDS first appeared, the government did nothing. Under the Reagan administration, hundreds of thousands of people were allowed to die without the government lifting a goddamn finger to research what was causing the disease, to find ways of treating it, or medication, or prevention and curing it. It is our community and some allies that raised the money and fought the disease until finally, when the Clinton administration came in, government funds started to flow. By then it was already a pandemic. AIDS Life Cycle, growing out of what used to be the AIDS Ride, was one of the events that raised that money. AIDS is not gone. People still die from AIDS. Luckily, the majority of people take a cocktail of drugs, you may have heard of them, Truvada is perhaps the best known, that keep them alive for years and years and years and live happy and productive lives until they are very old. Not to say that AIDS is a nothing disease like whooping cough or treatable like gonorrhea, which now you can take penicillin for. It is still a chronic illness. You have to take a regular regimen of pills that do have side effects. I don't know how much you love diarrhea, but if you take your regimen, you're okay. So, if you are inspired to help people, if you've lost someone, if you know someone who's lost someone, and you are moved to pitch in, or if you just want to pitch in because you realize that this is a fight that needs all hands on deck. Now available in San Francisco, $20 an hour. Then you can get in touch with the AIDS Life Cycle in San Francisco or here in Los Angeles. You'll find them online, just ALC, AIDS Life Cycle. You can find out how to get in touch with them. And you can either contribute or sign up to be a rider. hold local events where you are to raise money and get sponsors, just like a marathon, like a dance-a-thon or a walk-a-thon. You get people to sponsor you and you raise money that way, and they sponsor you and you ride. Fancy pants, is it like per mile that they give you like $20 per mile, or is it like I'm giving you $30 for the whole ride?
It's up to them how they want to donate and how much you want to fundraise.
Do you hear that? It is up to you how you want to fundraise, how you want to structure the giving. If you want to do it per mile. I once did one where we jumped out of an airplane. We parachuted out of an airplane, and my whole thing was I parachuted in drag. It was a pantsuit. They wouldn't let me wear a skirt, upskirting. And we had to raise $700 to qualify, and I raised $700. And I told people my shtick was, I'll jump. If you sponsor me, I will jump in drag and then send you a t-shirt with if you give a certain amount, I'll give you a t-shirt with a picture of me in drag dropping to the earth. So it's up to you to come up with your fundraising. Or come be a roadie. Come pitch in, literally, because you have to pitch tents every night in a campground, which is where all the riders sleep. Break down, set up, help to feed them, medical services, support services for people, riders who've been injured or fallen off their bikes. Even massage people come in a massage tent to rub them down at the end of the day because they just rode 100 freaking miles to help people fighting a life-threatening disease. There's a beautiful candlelight vigil on the beach in Ventura on the 6th day at night. There was between 2,000 and 3,000 people last night with candles on the beach, under a moonless sky, with one of the planets shining down and the waves crashing at our feet. It was very beautiful and very moving. Here on the edge of land, before the greatness of the ocean, it evokes the feeling of the souls that have left their bodies, forced out by this disease, and the greatness into which they have now merged. A perfect place to remember them and call to them. And then this morning, the riders got back on their bikes and rolled the last miles into Los Angeles. If you want any information, ALC, AIDS Life Cycle, or you can send me a message and I'll try to provide you what I can. Or there are other rides around the country. There's one in Texas. What is the one in Texas called?
Hill Country Ride for
Hill
AIDS.
Country Ride for AIDS.
In
Austin, Texas. And why not start one where you are? You don't have to ride hundreds of miles. You can do a 20-mile ride. Do what is the right size for you. And donate to a local organization fighting HIV and AIDS and supporting people who have the disease. You can do it. Just get your friends together and start talking it up, and things will start to fall in place. See what you can do. And if you need any help, just ask all those who've done it before you. They're all here to encourage your success in helping to fight HIV and AIDS. See you on the road.